Good to meet you. Kenway, I'm one of the co-founders of PocketSuite. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks so much for joining.
No, no problem.
Hey there, I'm Sean. I'm the community manager. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Thank you.
Adam, can you tell us where you are right now and what you do?
I am in Columbus, Ohio, at the gym that I am a trainer at. It's called Fit 14. It's in Westerville, New Albany area, kind of a suburb of Columbus, but we're pretty much here in Columbus, Ohio.
And is it jumping right now? Is everyone back?
Yeah, so we opened back up the very end of May. So we're going on about 3 months back open. We were closed for 11 weeks. So pretty much 3 months we were closed. And then we've been back open for 3 months. So it's doing pretty well. For the most part, all of our members are back here at the gym, and then me personally, the clients are back, and I've gained a few in the last few months too. So.
And what's the new norm in the gym? Like how are people working out? How are folks socially distancing? All that.
So we've had to move around equipment or take equipment out to keep in line with the guidelines that the governor of Ohio gave us. So as far as that, I mean, that's the biggest thing. People are just kind of keeping their space. It's not required here in Ohio to wear a mask. Well, excuse me, it's not required in Columbus or Westerville to wear a mask the entire time you're in the gym. But while you're not actively working out, you should be wearing a mask. For me, when I'm with my clients, I have a mask on all the time. Like right now, I'm in a room alone, so I don't have to worry about it so much. But anytime we're interacting with clients or just members of the gym, anytime we're out on the floor, we have our mask on. And then there's a lot of members that are working out with masks, but it's not a requirement.
Right. Here's something I've always wondered though, because when you're younger, and for the most part, trainers they're not young, but they're younger, and
Right.
It's something you love and you're passionate about, and like, oh, I love spending time in the gym. Then when you actually go down that road, I would imagine it's a bit torture because you're standing in the gym and you're not really able to work out, and
Right.
you're watching other people, and so maybe just a love of training. It has to translate actually into a love of like teaching or a love of people, right? Like that's got to be a big part of it.
I think that's where I, fell in love with being a trainer, because like all my adult life, I've either coached or helped kids and, all kinds. So I've coached kids from second grade all the way up through high school. I've worked in schools as aides and in some, multiple disabilities rooms. So it's more of if you want to help people, this is a way to do it. If you like trying to, create a better life for somebody else, then this is a way to do it. And that's like, I mean, I came through to personal training by, helping kids in a different sport. I'm like in a sport that I was good at, and helping kids grow up. And then I'm like, listen, if you guys want to be better, come to the gym with me. And I mean, that's how my personal training started, was, just that, working out with kids that I was helping in a different sport, that I didn't realize, how much the working out would have helped my sport when I was doing it. I was coming to the end of my career in that sport. And I mean, I wish I would have at 18 years old, been in the gym while I was doing that other sport. So.
Now you have to tell us the sport.
Yeah, what's the sport?
I rode bulls for 16 years. So
how did you not tell us that?
Are you kidding me?
Come on, man.
So when I turned 30, I had a major, or not when I turned 30, the year that I turned 30, I had a major knee injury, tore my ACL and PCL and meniscus, and I was still riding bulls. but I didn't have insurance. So I was like, all right, I'm definitely not having surgery. So what can I do? So I stopped playing basketball and I started working out. And I realized then that, the working out really helped my bull riding, which like I said, wish I would have done, when I turned 18. About the only time I ever worked out was for football in high school. And I tried to avoid it as much as I could then. I just like playing football. And like I said, I had some equipment at my house to practice riding bulls. And so I had a bunch of the younger kids, high school kids coming over, and I was just teaching them riding bulls. And, I ended up getting them to the gym with me. The gym that I went to then was owned by somebody I'd known my whole life. And he was like, hey, why don't you try this? And so it worked out. Where I was, I mean, it was a pretty low income area. So I didn't get a bunch of clients. It was more, like I said, I knew the guy and literally knew everybody that went into the gym. So it was more like, hey, can you help me with this? When I moved to Columbus, I don't know if you know, we kind of have a lot of fitness stuff here, especially in March when Arnold shows up. But it's a pretty big deal around here. And, I made it out pretty good moving to Columbus and doing what I do.
So this is the part where I hijacked the interview, right? Because I just spent, since 2013, I've spent time living in like Montana, Wyoming, and we have some current rodeo competitors within my extended family. And so here's my segue. As somebody who didn't grow up with any of that, I wonder how, and I want to parlay this into business and being an entrepreneur and being a trainer, how you manage that level of fear, right? Because it's scary.
Like, I can't say it. There's a handful of times I was actually scared. Like, because it was just something that I wanted to try. Like when I first did it, like I literally watched rodeos my whole life, and I'm like, I always loved like the cowboy life, the Western lifestyle. Well, you don't have that in Central Ohio. Like I'm not out on the ranch. I'm not herding cows or anything. So for me, rodeo was a way to be a cowboy, right? Like, and even though I still didn't even growing up, like there's no way that, I can even do this, but turns out I could figure that out. But like, I don't know that there was a management of fear as much as there was like, there's probably 2 times that I was scared riding bulls. I mean, I did it for a long time. I've been on thousands of bulls. Like my 3rd ride ever, I was scared because I'd watched this bull that I ended up getting on, like beat people to what I thought was near death. So I was a little scared to get on him, and he pretty much did the same thing to me. But I don't know. It's just like, I've been a competitor all my life. So it's just like, that was just a different way to compete for me.
Chinwei, would you get on a bull?
I actually, I've done the mechanical bulls at like what is it, the Hollywood Studios in like Beverly Hills. I've never done a bull. I would be freaked out. Are you kidding me? Oh man. Wow.
I mean, I watched it. Like I went to a rodeo at this one place for like 6 months before I even got the courage myself. And it wasn't like, I mean, the courage, it was more like, well, how do you do it? Where does the equipment come from? Who do you talk to? Like, that was my biggest fear, was talking to the people to even try to get it to happen. Like, the bulls weren't scary. It was, for me, the people, because I wasn't very outgoing then either. So it was just, admired from a distance, I guess, what they were doing.
You touched on another idea that's pretty cool, and I hadn't really thought about it. Although we did talk to another trainer in San Francisco said that, and that she dedicates and gives her time to specific charities
Mhm.
and to working with disadvantaged people and people who have been abused. In your case, people who have disabilities. That seems like a really great idea for someone who has these skills and is able to donate them, right?
Right. Yeah. So, like growing up, I always wanted to be a teacher, right? And so that didn't work out. I started college, and then I started riding bulls and realized I'll just ride bulls and not do college. But I still always wanted to help people. I had a lot of people help me throughout my life. And that's kind of where the coaching came in. Most of my people that helped me were my coaches throughout school. And then I've, got into some like camps for disabilities, mostly autistic kids. And then I worked at a school in a high functioning autism room. It was, we had like 10 kids that were all, basically on the same side of the spectrum. I think anytime you can put yourself in a position to help somebody else, it's going to make you more aware of your own self and why you're here. So like if we, look at everything going on in the world today, like how can you help the next person? And I mean, not only are you helping that next person, but maybe you're teaching them, a little bit about how you got to where you're at. Like you're not just, the old, give a man a fish or teach a man to fish type thing. Like, and that's how I kind of look at things. So, I mean, I can help a lot of people, but I'd rather help them by teaching them than to just give them the tools. So I'd rather give them the tools to use on their own, actually, instead of using the tools for them.
Well, it sounds like you're talking about mentoring, which is something we talk about a lot. Like you're trying to inspire younger people maybe to follow whatever their passion, whether it be the career that you've chosen or a sporting career or something like that.
Right. I have a lot of people, like just last week or a couple weeks ago, a guy here at the gym, hey, I'm trying to get into training. Do you have any, thoughts for me? And I'm like, every once in a while I'm like, man, should I really help you out? Because you end up being my competition, like money wise. But like, I mean, we're all here. I'm not going to have every person that wants a trainer, come to me. So, I help him out, like, and eventually, he's going to help somebody out, hopefully someday too. And, I just, I mean, we have to live here. We might as well try to do it, as nicely as possible.
Question for you. As you look ahead, just given all that we've been through and all that you've been through, I mean, again, bull running, I'm not, that's the headline here, Sean. I want to be clear. What do you
I can't believe you didn't lead with that.
I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. To most other people, it is. So I don't want to try to make it a big deal. So I mean, Columbus, Ohio, everybody sees it and they're like, oh, you like watching bull riding or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I liked watching it. It's much more fun to do it. I actually hate watching it in person now because I can't do it. So, but anyways, yeah, I just try not to lead with that because then it's kind of one of those oddities, I guess, that,
it's
kind
like
of get people off track.
It's like scaling Kilimanjaro, right? It's like,
right.
You just have to like
like to me, that's crazy. I would love to like pick somebody's brain on that. Like,
but I'd go to a trainer who like had the stones to ride bulls. I'd be like, okay, I respect you. Like you'll be my trainer, right? Like,
hey, hit me up after this. We'll talk.
Love it. So when you look ahead, what do you see?
As far as me personally, or like the general thing of everything going on right now? I mean, personally, like I love what I do. Do I see myself being a personal trainer my whole life? I don't know. I mean, I'm 40 years old almost now. So it's like, and maybe I shouldn't really consider too many other options, or maybe I need to figure it out really fast. I mean, I think it's always going to be a thing. Will it change? Has it changed? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of online, like in Columbus, Ohio, online training is like the thing. Like we have, I mean, so many people here in Columbus that have huge followings, that are, making, lots and lots of money. It's just like, I think online training is a thing of the future. But I do believe there will always be that, you know, the personal experience of one-on-one in-person training that people will just, look for. Now, it might not be everybody. Like, I feel like the online thing is for somebody who knows what they're doing a little bit, that just needs a little bit extra push. I think the personal side may move more towards, somebody just trying to get healthy and doesn't really have a idea on what the next step is for that. I think you're always going to have a little bit of both. But I do a little bit of online. I'm not the best at it. Like I said, here in Columbus, there's plenty of us, lots of online people. So it's definitely out there for anybody to find. I'm probably more geared towards the one-on-one, in-person type thing. That little personal touch, the immediate coaching help, more than an online fitness trainer.
Cool. My last question is the desert island question. So you're stranded on a desert island. You can take one book, one movie, and one record. What are they?
One book. One book that I love, I listen to on Audible a lot. I don't get to actually physically read much. Is Shaken by Tim Tebow. I will be honest, if Tim Tebow does it, I like it. So he's just the way he lives his life. I mean, for me, it's hard to argue with. So Shaken by Tim Tebow, movie Shawshank Redemption, and then album. That's a tough one there. Probably Poets and Pirates by Kenny Chesney. So there's a lot of good songs on that one.
Cool.
So Adam,
Sounds good.
in closing, Adam, a message to the PocketSuite community.
A message? PocketSuite has been a godsend for me. Like, it was literally what I was looking for, instead of chasing, payments down and stuff like that all the time. Just for the community, just be focused on what it is that's next for you. Like, PocketSuite is, we all have clients. So focus on your clients. They're people. They all have something going on. So don't just, go through another day. Like, it might be, your session or whatever you have with them. But they might just be there just to not deal with, whatever is going on in their life. So don't press them too much, feel it out, focus on what's next for you, and, try to make the best of every day for you and your clients.